Have you ever wanted to become a live streamer in China? Well, look no further. Just stumble upon one of these underground training camps that'll have you looking like you just walked into a Temu factory, but for streamers. The new dream everybody in China is chasing right now is becoming a live stream celebrity. But apparently the new master plan that'll 100% guarantee you become a famous, successful streamer are these so-called live streamer training camps. Yep, actual boot camps designed to turn regular people into online celebrities. You sign up, you attend classes, and then by the end, you're supposed to walk out like the next Jackson Wang of live streaming. Sounds amazing, right? Except there's one small problem. A lot of these training programs are basically just expensive PowerPoint presentations pretending to be some secret knowledge. They take extremely basic marketing advice, like stuff you could learn from like a 10-minute YouTube video, and then they package it like it's some secret ancient live streaming technique passed down by the live streaming monks. From yelling affirmations like, "Bless me with the luck of 100k viewers," or "Bring upon the tier 3 gifted subs," to pretty much turning these live stream schools into borderline pyramid schemes and charging people thousands of dollars for it, this is your only choice. Make sure you pray to the Douyin gods every night for good luck. And the worst ones, they even go as far as collecting all your money until you're in debt. And don't think about escaping or running away, because by then, they have all your personal information. Okay, now because live streaming became so big in China, I mean, you literally can retire just from a couple years of making it big on there. So everybody suddenly became an expert, and they suddenly had the secret formula. I figured out the algorithm. Yeah, it's giving that energy, except they're charging tuition for it. But some of these training programs don't just sell overpriced courses, they evolve to full-blown pyramid schemes. And the craziest example was this thing called super host courses that was being promoted throughout Chinese social media. And surprise, surprise, the course costs anywhere from 980 yuan all the way up to 12,800 yuan. First, they hook you with a cheap beginner course, a 399 yuan introductory class with 7 sessions. And when you see that price, people are like, hey, that's not bad, let's give it a try. But once you're inside the system, the upselling begins. Suddenly, they tell you, oh, you've only learned the basics. If you want the real techniques, you have to move on to the advanced class. That one costs 3,000 yuan. But it doesn't just stop there. If you want the real knowledge, and I mean the real knowledge, you have to buy a one-on-one coaching session with a professional streamer. That will cost you 6,999 yuan. We got beginner pack, advanced pack, ultimate legendary pack. I mean, the only thing missing here is a limited time battle pass. So let me tell you exactly how these training sessions look. The trainer starts the class with a live demonstration. He's like, today I'm going to sell you these pairs of shoes. No mistake, no mistake. Remember everything I say in this live room today. Now the pitch barely makes any sense. I mean, it sounded like somebody generated a last minute script last second. But the trainer delivers it with maximum confidence, which is the whole point. Because immediately after the demonstration, he orders every single student to show their best smile. Then he tells them to shout live stream catchphrases like, kids, don't miss your spot. You don't want to miss out. Don't miss out. Almost as if you're spamming emotes hoping that at least one of your viewers is a 12-year-old behind the screen. And according to him, if you follow his method, you'll transform into a human cash machine. He starts yelling, to be a streamer, you must first go crazy and rush forward without caring about face or reputation. Just throw your dignity out the window and just, start streaming in public and screaming at your phone. And then they started chanting, I'm a super speaker. My live streams will be incredibly exciting. Constantly shouting affirmations like it'll bring you good luck and make you famous overnight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They keep preaching about how you can make tens of thousands of millions of dollars and millions of views overnight if you just follow his method and just continue with the course. And if you're wondering what that method is, just buy the next course, because he promised he'll teach you how to go viral in just less than 3 days. And if somehow you don't, well, that's a skill issue on your end. You just weren't following the courses properly. Now, the weirdest part about these camps isn't even the promises. It's like the whole atmosphere and how the trainer pretty much presents himself. He continuously praises himself as a super mastermind in live streaming. And then he shouts, you are all mine. Not a single one of you can leave. So, it's giving live streaming cult more than course. Then of course comes the money pitch. He reveals a special offer. The course that normally costs 9,800 is suddenly discounted to 2,800. ？What a steal! But there's a condition. You have to sign up for 2 sessions. And you gotta start recruiting other people to continue. So at that point, it's a pyramid scheme. The trainer insists that the course doesn't quite meet platform requirements, but is still doable, which is just another way of saying that this might violate the rules, but let's try it anyways. Then he starts flexing that his channel gets over 100,000 views every day. He says his streams can sell more than 15,000 yuan worth of products in less than 3 hours, and apparently his secret method is to just use looped audio. They also demonstrate how to misrepresent the products and deceive the viewers. For example, he shows how to hype something up like peanut oil as a bargain, but then he suggests that you quietly swap the peanut oil with a smaller bottle or a different brand. And if customers complain, no problem at all. You can return the product, except the fee of returning usually costs half the price that you bought it for. It's like when I get Uber Eats and the delivery fee costs half the price of my Chick-fil-A. But then people started asking, doesn't this count as consumer fraud? Are you kidding me? What's this silly little guy talking about? Security, get him out. Out. Don't worry about him. He's just trying to bring us all down. People like him, that's what we call failures. Now, round 2, guys. Chant it. We are live streamers. We are live streamers.
我被一个卖课的骗了7000块钱，这里的所有人都是疯子。老师每天逼着你做你不愿意做的事，本来想的挺好的，来这里学学人家优秀的人是怎么直播的，顺便交交朋友。可来了我才发现，每天见得这么累，一天的课程里有1半多的时间都是在练习。哪怕你平时再怎么要面子，来了这儿你就一点面子也没有了。我一个平时连和陌生人打招呼都不好意思的，竟然逼着让我喊我不要脸。
Also, students who actually complete these courses said that at the end, their follower counts barely even moved. They spent all that money and their accounts still had the same energy of a group chat you made a year ago for that one trip. And honestly, watching these Chinese students study while being live streamed for like 12 hours straight like it's the Olympics, low-key reminds me of why learning Chinese from real-life context matters way more. That's why I recommend Migaku, because if you learn Chinese the traditional way, you know how to say, "Hello teacher, today we're studying lesson 3. But you'd be completely lost trying to understand a sleep-deprived senior whispering to your ear. It's not that dry textbook nonsense, because you're literally learning Chinese from videos, dramas, and movies you watch. Or even random Chinese internet clips. You see a word, you hover over it, boom, instant translation. Pronunciation, example sentences, flashcard created in one click.
哎呀，老林，
校长。
And Migaku actually has structured Chinese courses, from pinyin all the way to grammar and cultural context. Like after finishing the beginner course, you'll probably recognize about 80% of common Chinese words, which is pretty crazy. They've got tools for characters, stroke orders, tones, pretty much all the stuff people struggle with for Mandarin. But they actually explain it in a way that doesn't make you want to quit after day 3. Plus the system adapts to you, so you're not just grinding words that you've already learned 3 days ago like an NPC. You can even take live photos of real world Chinese text, signs, menus, anti-propaganda flyers, and straight up turn it into a lesson. And you can even specifically learn Cantonese, which is very rare. They even have Japanese, Korean, Spanish, as well as many other languages. And one subscription gives you access to all languages. Right now you can get 50% off the lifetime plan, which is access for life, or grab an extra free month on the standard and early access plans. Just use migaku.com/wanilo to support me, and let's log back in. Now, why do most of these students fail besides the ones who get really lucky? Well, because the people who understand live streaming, they're not teaching, they're live streaming. They're just too busy making money themselves. The competition in Chinese live streaming is absolutely brutal. If anybody discovers a method or a strategy, they're gonna gatekeep it harder than underground rap. So instead, these schools hire instructors that honestly don't really have much experience, or they got lucky that one time and then they just package themselves as a professional live streamer because of that one viral video. So they keep charging students until they either succeed or run out of money. And if they do succeed, they can take credit for it as well. They also collect personal information from you, which is always a comforting thought. So far in China right now, there are already over 60 universities that have live streaming specific programs. So one day you might have to prepare for your kids saying, "Hey mom and dad, I want to go to China for a live streaming degree." But after going through all these live stream training camp scams and these algorithm masters, I did start wondering something. What happens to people who actually dedicate their lives to it? You know those live stream dance groups on Douyin that stream for hours upon end, sometimes even like 13 hours a day? There's a massive dark side to this industry that not many people talk about a lot. Besides the camera crew working like an absolute Chad, going for the best camera angles for hours upon end, the dancers and the performers for many of these groups, suffer a pretty dark reality. Let's take a look at a live stream dance group called Peach Island. And they weren't just some random TikTok dance group that was just created in your home. It was actually created from people who directly came from China's idol industry. One of the founders is Do Xiaomeng, who also helped produce the survival show Chuang. The other founder is Sijie, who also used to be a manager at SM Entertainment, which is renowned in Korea's K-pop industry and the one who also launched aespa. So these weren't amateurs, they knew the idol system in and out. So within 3 months, they assembled a 7-member team. One of the members was Lu Yingchen, and she's only 20 years old, and she already has about 1.8 million followers on Douyin. While she was still in university, she was posting videos about her K-pop routines and dances on campus, which ended up going viral and blowing her up. Like, not like literally, but you know what I mean. This caused her to make a decision to drop out of school and join a Beijing girl group, which eventually she had to leave because the company's values didn't really align with her. So this is where live streaming entered the picture for her, which only happened a couple months back. This is a very recent story. She said that she always wanted to become an idol, but she was just born a bit too late to catch that massive era of live talent shows on TV. And if you guys know the struggles about the K-pop group idol industry, you know that effort doesn't always equal an outcome. It's extremely rare that a group debuts, and it's that 0.1% that usually do. So many people who have strived to become an idol usually end up in debt after 8 to 10 years in training. So live streaming became her alternative path. And then there's He Jingjie, and her story honestly feels like something right out of a C-drama. I mean, the first time we see her is literally her with a shoulder injury backstage while other performers are still doing their routines. And she's also crying too. But the reason she's crying isn't because of the pain, it's because that she's afraid she won't be able to dance again the next day. And it doesn't help that He's parents didn't approve her dancing at all. She had to secretly teach herself hip-hop dances. To make them happy, she got into university, but later got the option to study abroad in South Korea. And while she was there, she actually secretly signed a 10-year idol contract without her parents knowing. Except her parents intervened, brought her back to China, and it kind of ruined her whole plan. So instead, she kept dancing online, posting clips, and building a following, which eventually got her to 350,000 followers. Honestly, props. You know how Asian parents can be. So when Peach Island saw her dance videos, they reached out to recruit her. And she took it because at 25, she already felt that her window was closing and that live streaming was her last shot. So fast forward, they started preparing Peach Island's debut. The performers rehearsed constantly, choreography, facial expressions, stage positioning, like everything from morning to night. It was a grind, okay? It was non-stop. And the stress definitely started showing because even one of the other performers, Tao, had a nightmare that nobody would send them any virtual gifts during stream. Yeah. And finally, the big moment came. September 4th, 2025 at 4:49 p.m. Live stream started. Founder Sijie shouted, "Go." All of the performers rushed onto the stage with the song Love Emergency. Behind the scenes, you can literally see the staff constantly refreshing the Douyin page, because viewership heavily depends on Douyin's algorithm to just randomly promote your stream. At the control desk, all the staff were watching real-time analytics, they were watching the stream, they were watching the viewers' comments, the gifts, like they were monitoring everything. It's like watching the stock market. Whenever the viewer numbers dropped, somebody would just start panicking and they just had to start shouting and yelling. They also quickly replayed Lu Yingchen's most popular song to hook in new viewers. And when the stream ends, everybody, all the performers, they just collapse. They just fall to the ground. Because mind you, many of these studios don't even have air conditioning. And after a couple hours to regain your sanity, you have to do it all over again. No more breaks, no more time off camera for the rest of the day. The next morning, they realized that they've already used up their entire inventory of emotes and dances that they practiced for. So the coaches had to rush to create new dances and even use some dances that were supposed to debut a couple weeks later, but they just had to use them immediately. Meanwhile, He was at the hospital for treatment, but she still returned for rehearsal. And the pay is not even that glamorous. The idols usually just earn a base salary of 8,000 yuan and just a small share of the viewer gifts. Some studios even push the idols to privately message and DM wealthy fans to encourage them to gift them more views or more subs. It starts getting kind of weird. And sometimes the viewership of a stream can drop because of lighting, because of how somebody looks, maybe the camera angles, or it could be something as random as how somebody flirts with the viewers, which pretty much means that luck can matter way more than talent. And by the third day, Peach Island's viewership had dropped to 700 viewers. At one point, they even got suspended because of a high heel outfit that apparently violated the Douyin guideline rules. At their best, the group reached about 7,000 viewers, which does sound impressive. impressive. Until you realize top live streamers gain over 100,000 live viewers. So only a few people really become actual idols in this industry. And for her, she still regrets not taking that Korean training opportunity a couple years back. She considered that maybe if she didn't invest so much into dance group live streaming on Douyin, she could have had a chance in the K-pop industry. The group is still alive, but it's not as active as it once was, and everybody just kind of went their own separate ways, doing their own thing. For her right now, she still continues posting and still continues pursuing this path, which is great for her, honestly. You have to have a really strong mindset after training for years upon end and getting almost nothing in return to keep pursuing something that you enjoy, that is your passion. So Peach Island was essentially a gamble and a lifeline for all of these members. And despite all the uncertainty, the scams, the training camps, people still chase the dream of becoming a live streaming idol. Because every once in a while, somebody does make it big. Even if it's that 0.1%, that is still not 0%. And those success stories keep the dream alive. And I mean, it's no walk in the park at all. You have to make sure you're looking in the right places and doing the right things so you don't waste your money or your time. But even then, it's no guarantee. So yeah, if you ever see me dancing on live stream one day, just know I'm probably being held hostage.